I have a surprise for you guys. Oh, this is a good one. Yeah. Oh, I've self-diagnosed myself with OCTBD. I have it's a condition. It afflicts some of us in various forms. The symptoms aren't always exactly the same, but most of you, when I tell you what OCTBD is, you'll go, yep, I got it. What does OCTBD stand for? Obsessive compulsive tent buying disorder. I have it. It manifested itself with me ordering a new tent last week. It arrived yesterday. Hence, we're heading up the highway to test this bloody thing out. I'm excited, so much so I could barely sleep last night. I was shocked and I didn't just jump in the truck right after taking the package from the mailman and go up the highway, which would have been crazy because it would have been dark. Anyway, yeah, bought a new tent. Now, what tent did I buy? I have a Gstove, and every now and then I'll click on the Gstove Canada website. They're, I guess, part and parcel with wildcoasttents.com. That's a little company on the East Coast that sells off-road camping supplies, rooftop tents, things like that. They have a lot of interesting, unique stuff, and I've been ordering from them. Well, actually, Robin, on my behalf, has been ordering from them. Thank you, Robin, for a couple of years now. The first thing I ever ordered from them was the Gstove, and I can't tell you enough good things about the Gstove. My opinion, for what it's worth, it's the best little wood stove you can get. I've seen other wood stoves, different variations. Nothing yet has piqued me to go beyond the Gstove. The build quality is fantastic. The price is unbelievable for what you're buying. If you haven't seen the Gstove, go check them out, and then look at the price. Then go look at some of these tin stoves that you can buy from some companies. They're almost the same price. That makes no sense to me because I can make a tin stove with a pop riveter, and tin. But it's the same price as this superbly made Gstove. It doesn't make sense to me. Absolutely no sense. Anyway, enough of that. Gstove, number one. Get one. You'll love it. I can't give it enough shining stars. Anyway, so I was on the Gstove Canada website, just clicking through, seeing what they had, what they didn't have. And there was a tent. Gstove Lavvu, it's called. So Gstove, I guess, are branching out, and they matched this tent up with their stove. So it's it's designed to work with the Gstove, which is a good thing. Now, they haven't reinvented the wheel or created fire or cured a disease. If you look at the Gstove Lavvu, you can see that, there's a lot of other companies out there. It looks like they're making the exact same tent. It could be made in the exact same place. I don't know. But I really like Gstove products so far. And this was total, seen it, clicked add to cart, bought it, it arrived. No research on this other than I know tents, I know what to expect from tents, and I looked at this tent and it answers a lot of questions for me for my winter camping that my Eskers tent is kind of letting me down on. I have an Eskers 10x10, 10-ounce duck canvas, and it's a shelter. The Eskers 10x10 is a shelter, yes. Once you get it set up, you can be quite comfortable in it. The material it's made out of is durable. That's about all I can say about it. It doesn't wow me. My Eskers tent does not wow me. I've alluded to that before. Yeah. Is it worth the money? No. I don't think the Eskers is worth the money. Your mileage may vary, but so far for me, it's not. No. Anyway, this Gstove tent is your typical tipi style tent with a big door, like it's bigger than most of the other tents. It looks like a typical, I don't know, sil, nylon, polyester, whatever it's made out of. I don't know. Like I said, I just looked at it, said, yep, I'm buying it, clicked that in the cart, shipped it at the rod yesterday. It could be made out of tissue paper for all I know. It's there in the bag. But I have faith in Gstove that they'll put their name on good products. So this is totally, I'm going on my past experience with Gstove. If they put their name on it, it's going to be a good product. Is it going to be a perfect product? I doubt it. There's nothing perfect. None of my tents have nailed what I want in a tent. Some of them have come close, but nothing does everything 100%. That's basic. That's the truth. Anyway, so it's a teepee style. Now, this is my first time setting this up. It's my first time taking it out of the bag, actually. And there's no instructions, but I don't know if that's necessary. It's a teepee. It's simple. So we'll see how this goes. We shall see. So, I believe that's the front. Interesting. There's the tent pegs. Hopefully I am in the shop. Okay, I gotta say that's a nice touch. Anyone who's watched my videos have noticed that I flag my tent pegs. And yeah, paracord on the tent pegs. They're just aluminum tent pegs, nothing special. I'm going to use these. I'm not going to use my super duper tent pegs, so I want to see how these are. But in the winter time, I will be using my super duper tent pegs because the ground freezes here and you want to get these things in the ground. Something else I'm going to show you. My council tool hatchet with a hammerhead on it. Okay, so let's see what this thing looks like. Well, it adjusts easy. Okay. So obviously, you'd want to put this on before it goes up. Let's get this puppy up without strangling myself. This is the Gstove Lavvu. I know some people are going to complain of the tie-out points. I am not one of them. I like the tie-out points. The more, the better. For my first time sight unseen setting it up, I'm happy with it. I've got a couple of ideas already to improve on it, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, let's take you inside. Okay, right off the bat, I don't even know if you'll see this. Yeah, you can see that. That's in the material. There's one right here. One right there. I will bring that to their attention. Yeah, I will bring that to their attention. It doesn't ruin it for me yet. We'll see what they say about it, Gstove. So this is one of the new things I got from Gstove. It's an extra cooking surface. Brilliant idea. Okay, something I do with my Gstove, I've done it since day one. I will show you when I find my little hammer. Okay, hopefully you can see this. So I'll position it where it needs to be. Yeah, position it like that. setup. Okay, something I do with my Gstove I hammer these things in, so there's no way you can knock the stove over. And again, you see how they have the hooks. And that stove can't move now. You can't move that stove. Yeah, good idea. Okay, it's bedtime for Bonzo. Yeah, today was a good day. I'm glad I came up and tried this tent out. I'm happy with it. A couple of teething issues setting it up, but that's to be expected when you don't look at how the thing is set up and you just do it blind. But that's a testament to the tent. It's pretty straightforward to set up. There's a lot of lines to set out, but you'll appreciate those lines when the wind howls. So I'm not complaining about that. That's a good thing. You got to bring pegs. That's another good thing. You'll set it right and you should be good to go. No, it's a nice tent. I can't wait to use it in the winter time. We're getting close to winter now. I think this is going to be a good one. I love the weight. It's a light, large tent. I'm glad I went with the 3 to 5 man one. This cot is an extra large Cabela's cot, so it's ridiculous to have it in here. But I'm sleeping comfortable tonight. And oh yeah, you'd easily get 3-4 people in this easily with their gear. Yeah, it's a good size. I like what they're doing with their sizing. But yeah, what else can I say? I'm giving it a thumbs up right now. Looks good. Happy with it. Oh, and this extra cooking surface, I love it. You can boil your kettle, you can fry down there. That's a brilliant idea, absolutely brilliant idea. And if I had to figure out how to improve it, about the only way you could improve it is if you had that angled up a bit so it would channel the smoke more. But it seems to be drafting okay. No problems keeping the stove going. Yeah, it's been working great. I actually like this better than the oven, and I've got the oven extension as well, but you know, the oven's nice to have, but you don't need it. And if I had to go with one or the other, I'd go with that. Yeah, and there's 2 other things that are new that I have. I'll show you those tomorrow. But other than that, I'm going to bed. So, see you in the morning. Oh, I'll show you the temperature. It's, I think you can see that. Can you see that? Yeah, it's 23 in here now. It's not 23 outside. I think it's like 2 degrees or something, 1 degree. So the G-stove's really working. Yeah, it's doing good. Yeah, this is actually living large. This is so comfortable. I'm actually exceptionally warm right now. Anyway, I'm about to go out and take some more night shots, see what I come up with. I'll turn you back on in a little bit. Hey, good morning, guys and gals. I survived the night. Everything went well. I had that mouse make an appearance more than once. He was running around my sleeping bag, over my head. I'm not using the stove this morning because I got to pack up quickly once the sun comes up and leave. So I brought in my years ago I bought a Coleman catalytic heater. I think they called it the Sport or something. It's only 3,000 BTUs, and we never really used it. It was for Robin when we'd be in a tent or something playing cards. She could put it near her legs and that. Anyway, I had it sitting there, so I dragged it along, and it just operates off a 1 pound propane cylinder. And it's managed to bring the temperature in the tent up to 3 degrees. Like I said, it's about 1 degrees outside, around there. Now, so the tent, I like it. Good tent. Something I wish it had that it doesn't, and I understand why it doesn't, but I still wish it had it, is a sod cloth. And what I mean by a sod cloth is a strip of material that runs around the outside edge that you can pack stuff on. Snow, dirt, sticks, whatever, just to keep the floor tight to the ground. This tent doesn't have it, but I'm willing to bet the reason it doesn't have it is because you can get the floor liner and zip it inside, so you can make it an enclosed unit, and there's a cutout for the floor and that. And I mean, some people like that. It doesn't suit me for winter camping because you're going to destroy a floor. And I know they say, well, the floor will cut down on condensation inside. Well, not really, because if you're out in the winter, you're tracking in snow and water melts off your gear and everything, and if you put a floor in, now you've trapped the water in there with you, and you're still getting condensation. So any benefit, I'd like to see someone show the benefit, but I don't think there would be in a big tent for winter camping. Just heard I think there was an owl over there. Anyway, the floor is no use to me. You can, for me personally, just get a cheap old tarp, or even one of your old tarps that, has been holed or something, and just use that for the floor. And then when you can't look at it anymore, throw it away. Yeah, so I wish it had a sod cloth. That would be a huge benefit for me. But as far as the tent itself goes, this is a good tent. Easy to set up, nice weight. Stove works beautifully in here. It got to 25 degrees in here last night, and it was below zero throughout the night. That's pretty good. Now granted, this is a small stove, so it's not going to run all night long. That's why you need a good sleeping bag. so then the fire can go out, you'll be toasty warm, and you have yourself ready in the morning with kindling and everything you need to get a fire going quick. There's condensation. That is not a surprise. I'd be surprised if there wasn't condensation. Oh, they're up. But before I take this tent down, I'll take a rag and I'll wipe down the whole tent, get as much of the condensation off as possible. But it didn't drip. The sleeping bag's dry. You can see, like if I touch it, it gets wet. But yeah, you will have to deal with condensation in this thing. And any other single wall tent that you put yourself in. But everything else, I mean, the door, I love the door. So I keep comparing this to my Eskers for the only reason that I'm going to be using this like I intended to use my Eskers. And on the Eskers, the door, you've got to use two hands to open it. You can kind of mess with it and get it open with one hand. But no, you gotta use two hands and pull and whatever and be gentle on it. This thing, you can just grab it and it'll open with one hand, and you're not really working the material or anything. I love that. And I love the size of the door. I mean, fully open, you could drive an ATV in through that. Not that you would, but you could. And they've got an incorporated screen door on it. That's good. I like that. No, it's a good tent. I like it. I'm gonna have a lot of fun this winter with this tent. Yeah, this cot is a bit ridiculous in here. This thing is a monster cot. 2 people could sleep on this. But with a regular tent pad net, I mean, the space in here is unbelievable. I have a smaller cot, more portable one. That would be ideal in here. And the only thing I'm thinking, if you use this second cooking surface, I don't know if you can use the rear exit. Because that, yeah, I don't know if you could use that. Now you could put this down here and put this pipe here. The only problem is if you do that, you won't be able to use your kettle that sits on this piece. So it's a trade-off. But then you can put your kettle on this, so you still, yeah. Yeah, I think that's what you would have to do to use this, because I really like this second cooking surface. Yeah, it's good. Next time I come out, I'll try that setup. But yeah, that's a fantastic addition. Beats the oven. And now that I think putting this down here, so the pipe, and putting the stove back there, yeah, I think that'd be a better setup. You'd have all this space. Yep. Groovy. Yeah, what else about the tent? Yeah, except for the couple of little flaws in the material itself. Everything does what it's supposed to. They've got some clips attached, and I'm suspecting that what those clips are going to be for is a liner. I bet they're going to come out with a liner for winter. Yeah. Because with a liner, you'd have a double wall. It'd cut down on, well, it'd hide the condensation. Yep. Yeah, so I already like this much better than my esters in just one night. I will say I think my esters will win the longevity race, and I think that's just because of the material it's made out of, and the fact that I won't use it. But yeah, good tent. Plenty of room. Yeah, and the 2 to 5 man one. I mean, if you're a totally solo person, go with the 2 to 5 man one. 2 to 3 man one. Robin will use this in the summertime as well, and Robin will be using it. So the 3 to 5 is good for us, and it works for me as a solo. And it's nice having space. About the only problem with the bigger tent is you need a bigger area to set it up in. But you work with that. Yeah. Well, there's a thought. I could buy the 2 to 3 man. No, won't do that. I wouldn't do that, rabbit. Yeah, I like all the air vents they got around the corners. Oh, something's thieving. I can hear it. Man, it's like living in Vancouver, except it's animals stealing from you. Well, I guess there's no difference in that. Yeah, so the tent's good. Oh, that little heater's just brought it up to 4 degrees. Just that's balmy. Balmy. I tell you, I'm kind of shocked at those mice. Man, they can scurry up anything. I couldn't believe that little bugger was up on the sleeping bag with me. So I got a raven out there thieving. Go out and fight with that now. Yeah, so the Gstove Nature View 3 to 5 Lavvu. Good tent so far. Yeah, I like it. And on that note, I'm going to turn you off for now. I got to go do stuff. Something else I'm going to change are the plastic clips. I don't like these tensioning clips. I mean, just use a timber hitch or a midshipman's hitch. It's easier and it doesn't get in the way. And they're easy to learn. Just learn those hitches and you will be golden for just about anything. Okay, that will actually work in the back, and it'll offset it to the side a little bit. Yeah. The great thing about these pegs, if it's hard to get one out, you can use the hook to pull them out. Yeah. Yep, that's much better. Much, much better. That's good. Very, very good. I am happy. Now I can bring the pipes back and put the stove away. You know, there's some build-up on that, but it'll be minimal if you use good wood, and it's easy enough to clean out. I like it. You can take the Gstove door off. Empty the ash out in the fire pit. Put the pipes back in. I need one more pipe. See if this fits in. Yeah, it's enough. I love this time of the year. I love using my wood stove. Yeah, I gotta say this thing is a fantastic addition to that little stove. I'm probably never gonna use the oven now. Just take this in the stove. You got the two cooking surfaces, and this gives more heat to the tent as well, because all the heat goes up, radiates, then goes on out through. And surprisingly, no soot on the tent. Wow. Man, that's awesome stuff. Huh, 0 degrees. And all's well. Oh. Yep, got another one right there. Another one right there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and to prevent your tents from smelling moldy and mildewy, don't put them away wet. So when I'm just gonna put this loosely in the truck, and when I get back home I'll put it in storage, but I'm not gonna fold it up. I'm gonna store it open and up, and in a couple of days I'll go back and fold it up and put it in the bag and everything properly. That way I'm not creating a moldy mess to deal with in the future. Yeah, I'm going to remove all these plastic tensioners. I prefer to tie my own knots. And like I said, you learn a midshipman's hitch, a bowline, timber hitch, prusik knot. That's all you need. They're not hard to learn, and you don't have to deal with these. And if you're counting grams, your tent will be lighter. And I'm willing to bet that the scratches in the material is from these plastic things. That's something to think about, because these got they got edges. They're not sharp edges, but they got edges, and that's what it looks like, these plastic things. Yeah, I think that's what it is. In fact, I'm going to take these off now. So next time I set this up, I'll use this line, because it's decent paracord. I'll use it, but I'll just tie my own knots and adjust it myself. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. Interesting. Like, I understand why they use these plastic things, because there's people out there that want everything as easy as possible, but there's nothing easier than a couple of knots. It's simple. In fact, if you still want to use those plastic things, and this is the Gstove, just take a handful of them, throw them in the pack, and say use them if you want them. We don't recommend it. But it's still a good tent. I mean, it's new out, so problems do arise. And the reason I know it's those plastic things is because all the see-through parts are following a line around here. So when this gets folded up and those plastic things are riding on the material. Yeah. I figured it out. I'm a genius. I'm not rolling this up until it's dry, so I'm just going to shove it in the truck, and when I get home, store it flat, and I'll put it away when it's dry. So I said there were 4 things that I got in the mail. Now, when I was on the Bowron trip, my this is a Benchmade Hidden Canyon knife. S30V steel. It's a really nice knife. I like the size of it. The only thing I didn't like about it is the blade shape. It's a skinning blade, and it's a fine blade for purpose. But what I really liked about this was it rode on my belt right here. It was out of the way, and it didn't interfere with anything. And when I needed it, I just took it. There it was. And I didn't even notice that I was wearing it. So I really like that. So then I wanted to get something similar, but with a more useful blade shape for just general around the camp cutting, line, maybe even making some splits for the little twig stoves and that, just something more useful than this. So I ended up ordering this. This is a Lion Steel M1. It's M390 steel. It's 6.7 inches long. I don't know, but a more useful full tang knife. I mean, what can you say? It's a nice knife. You can do stuff in the kitchen with it. You can cut with it, make kindling with it. It's not a heavy-duty knife, but it's heavy-duty enough, and it's comfortable in the hand. And the leather sheet, it'll ride on my belt the same way. And they're roughly the same length, roughly. The line steel is a tiny bit longer. Blade length, yeah, the handles are pretty much the same, and the line steel blade is a little bit longer, but the shape of the line steel blade is just more useful for what I've been using it. I love this knife. This knife feels really good. This one feels like a nice little knife. I like it. Anyway, while I was at it, while I was, you know, in the ordering mood, another knife that I've always wanted was something I could bash with. Something that I could just pull out, use it, like if I had to split a log or something, just something that I could beat on and not really care about. Now, I like my Benchmade Bushcrafter, but it's a bit bulky. I only use it when I'm hiking and stuff, so yeah, so then I ordered this one. Now, this thing is Koodman's Survival Knife. This is a beast of a knife. I mean, look at the thickness of the blade on that. I like it. It's small, it's compact, and it's just a big slab of steel that I'm sure I'll have no problem bashing stuff with. In fact, I'm probably going to try bashing something with it now. I don't think I'll video it, but yeah. So this one, I don't know. I'll see where this one lines up with my use. It's not overly big. This could ride on my hip, and I wouldn't really notice it. But it's a substantial piece of steel. I think this one's N695 steel. I think that's what it is. Yeah, N695. Now, I don't know anything about steels. Doesn't matter to me as long as the knife holds up. I'm not a steel snob, but we'll see how it holds up. I have no idea. Never even looked at any reviews. I like the style of it. I like the bulkiness, the chunkiness. It's just a big blocky piece of steel. I mean, you could pry with this. You could do anything with this. Yeah. Nice little knife. Koodman. Oh, I like it. Anyway, that's what I ordered. But I really like this thing. This is going to be probably a permanent fixture on my belt. It's just useful. The only thing is, it doesn't have a Scout carry case, so I'm going to have to attach something so I can carry it on my belt like I want to. But that should not be a problem. Anyway, that's all the new stuff I got. Okay, from the hat latch, testing the Gstove Nature View Levu. I think that's a wrap. Yeah, had a great time. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys enjoy the tent. It's a good tent. In spite of some of the minor issues, it's a good tent. Thumbs up. We are done. heading home. That was a good trip. I like the tent. I'm pretty sure I can drive through down here. We'll see. If memory serves me correct, there was a road. Haha, yes. Okay, so I'm on my way out, and I had to stop in here to take some pictures, and I just found the coolest thing. Okay, so this was an old ranger station. Anyway, somebody went and put a tub here so you can see the hose, and they actually brought up a boiler. Yeah, May long weekend 2018, A-team crew: Samantha and Dustin, Paula and Aaron, Jess, Jeremy, Heather, Liam and Pipper, or Piper. The dog crew: Hammer, Kingston. 3 to 4 hours to heat full tank. Rules of the tub: keep it clean, always have lifeguard on duty, no more than 5 people at a time, 2 drinks minimum per bath, nudity is expected. Yeah, so you got a little stove down there. Okay, I guess you fill it. Yeah, you fill it. And then there's a valve, and it runs down into the tub, gravity fed. Wow. Well done, guys. Awesome stuff. Here, I'll show you the old ranger station. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, this cabin's still livable. Let me get some light on the situation. And wood stove in it, wood. Oh. Oh, that's good. A loft up there. Insulation. Oh, it's nice. Yeah. Cabin's been here a long time. Well, I gotta say, the people have really done this place proud. Look at the barbecue. Wow. I've only stayed here once. It gets a bit too busy for me. But what a place. And they got the flagpole. Yeah, but that hot tub, that's wild stuff. Yeah, too funny. Anyway, I gotta go take some pictures.